All right, so let's jump right in. We're talking Grammys,
Ah,
the 67th Grammy Awards.
music's biggest night.
Yeah, and everyone's dying to know all about it.
Yeah.
So what did they win? Who won?
Yeah.
The fashion, all those kind of crazy moments.
Right.
We are going deep. We're going to look at all the searches that happened,
Wow.
all the things that people wanted to know while this was all going down.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like our Grammys decoder ring.
Yeah.
What were people thinking about?
Well, it's really interesting, because when you look at the searches, it's like the internet just wanted to know who won.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's all they cared about.
Well, yeah, everybody's at home. They're watching the show. And,
Yeah.
you're an expert. All of a sudden, you can tell everyone what's going to happen and who should win and who shouldn't win.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, though. It's not just they want to know who won.
Yeah.
There's also this, underlying, almost anxiety about, did this person win?
Yes.
Did this person win?
Especially around specific artists.
Yes.
Like, take Taylor Swift, for example.
Of course, yeah.
Oh my gosh, the internet just exploded. Did she win? How many did she win? What did she win?
Well, that's the thing. It's like every Grammy she wins, it's like another, jewel in her crown.
Absolutely.
It just solidifies her as this, this icon.
Right.
But it wasn't just her. I mean, we
Yeah.
saw Kendrick Lamar, Billie Eilish, Chi,
Ah,
Sabrina
yeah.
Carpenter. A lot of people, generating these searches.
yeah, that's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, what do you think that says about what's happening in music right now?
Well, I think it's really cool because you have that mix of, your powerhouse, big names,
Yeah.
but then you also have, these rising stars. So
Yeah.
people are, they're interested in both.
Yeah.
So I think that's a real testament to the Grammys
Mhm.
that you can, see both of those, sides of the music industry represented.
And people weren't just, reading about it or, speculating about it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people wanted to know, how do I watch this?
Yeah,
Where can I stream it? What channel is it on?
absolutely.
Everybody wanted to be a part of it, right then and there.
It's a communal experience now.
Yeah.
It's not just, sitting at home watching an award show.
Right.
It's everybody's, tweeting about it, live tweeting, oh my gosh, did you see this performance? What do you think about this?
So it's like the way we experience it has really changed.
Exactly. It's like this conversation that we're all having
Yeah.
together, even though we're not, in the same room.
So it's not just the music itself. It's like we're experiencing it all together now.
Yeah. And I think it's really cool. It just shows, the Grammys, it is a cultural touchstone. It's a moment where we all come together
Right.
and we think about music and how it impacts our lives.
Okay. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're talking about, did Taylor Swift win? We're talking about these performances.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people were searching for some pretty, basic stuff. When was this?
Right.
What channel was it on? How long is this going to be? People were, maybe they needed to brush up a little bit on how the Grammys work.
Well, just to remind everyone, the 67th Grammy Awards were held on February 9th at the Crypto.com Arena
Ah, yes. The usual spot.
in Los Angeles.
And of course, if you wanted to watch, those amazing red carpet moments, it was on CBS and all the streaming platforms too. But I was even wondering this myself. How long was this thing?
Yeah.
People were searching, when did the Grammys end?
Yeah.
How long are the Grammys? It's like they were getting ready for a movie marathon or something.
They're not wrong.
Right.
It is a long ceremony,
Yeah.
but it's so captivating because you have the performances, the awards, those amazing speeches, and then you have those moments that you just don't expect.
Yeah, those unscripted moments.
Exactly.
So you just never know what's going to happen.
And that's what keeps you, on the edge of your seat.
Keeps you coming back for more. All right, so we've talked about, who won and all that and how to watch it. But what does it all mean?
Ooh.
What can we learn from all this?
Yeah. What can we learn about, the state of music?
Yeah.
And, what does it tell us about, how important music is in our lives?
Right.
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because, these searches, they're like a window into, how we think about music.
Okay, so we're going to put our detective hats on
We are.
and we're going to go deep into this data.
We're going to look for clues.
I love it.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let's take a little break.
All right.
We'll be right back to unpack some of those, those trends and those searches and see what they tell us about the world of music in 2025.
We were talking about that obsession with who won, right?
Yeah.
And, when you really look at the data, it shows you just how important those awards are.
Yeah. I mean, a Grammy isn't just, a shiny thing. It's like this, recognition from the entire industry.
Right? It's like this stamp of approval.
And it can really, help an artist's career.
Oh, absolutely. Album sales, new opportunities.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it can really, cement their place in music history.
Yeah, and, we were talking about Taylor Swift earlier, and it's like her fans weren't just hoping she'd win. It was like they were expecting it.
Yeah, they wanted it.
They needed it.
Absolutely.
Like it was this validation of, everything she's done.
Totally.
And speaking of impact, Kendrick Lamar was another one who was generating tons of searches.
Oh, yeah.
What were people most curious about when it came to him?
Well, there was a lot of talk about, would he keep winning? Would he, continue that streak that he's had?
Yeah, like how many Grammys does Kendrick Lamar have?
Exactly.
Yeah.
People wanted to know.
Well, Kendrick's always pushing the envelope. He's talking
yeah.
about social issues in his music.
He's making us think.
Yeah. And, people want to see that recognized.
They want to see him, get the accolades he deserved.
Absolutely. And then there's Billie Eilish, another Grammy favorite.
Oh, yeah. She's always a big one.
She's been on this amazing journey,
From such a young age.
Yeah, she just keeps evolving.
Right. And it's cool because people were searching not just about her wins, but also about, like, her nominations.
Oh, yeah.
And her performance.
Well, it's like they're invested in the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole journey.
It reminds us that the Grammys are more than just, who takes home the trophy.
It's about the artistry.
It's the performance.
It's those unique voices,
Absolutely. And speaking of unique voices, we saw some new artists, like Doechii, Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, and what was interesting to me was it seemed like people were using the Grammys to discover new artists.
Oh, for sure. It's like this platform for discovery.
Like, oh, I've never heard of Doechii.
Yeah.
Let me check out her performance.
Exactly.
So it's like the Grammys are this launching pad.
For sure.
Yeah.
Giving these up-and-coming artists a chance to really shine.
It's that mix of, the icons and the newcomers that keeps the Grammys, fresh.
Yeah, it's at that balance.
But, we're talking about all these individual artists, but the Grammys are more than just, personal achievements.
Yeah, what do you mean?
It's like they reflect what's happening in the culture.
Oh, absolutely. The music, the conversations, it all gives us the snapshot of, where we are as a society.
It's like this, cultural barometer.
Totally.
Showing us, what we're listening to, what we're thinking about.
And the search data adds this whole other layer.
Yeah, because it shows us how people are engaging with all of that.
What are they curious about? What do they want to know more about?
So it's not just observing. It's like we're trying to understand it.
Exactly.
So the Grammys are more than just this, entertainment thing.
It's a phenomenon.
Yeah.
It makes us think about, music's role in the world.
Okay, but let's get back to some of those, specific searches that we saw. I mean, we talked about the big stars and the rising stars, but there were some searches that I thought were really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, I noticed people were searching for artists who are blending genres.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's like they're not fitting into those, traditional boxes anymore.
It's like people are hungry for something new, something different.
Yeah, it's like how we experience music is changing.
It's not so rigid anymore.
Right, we're embracing all these different sounds.
And the Grammys are reflecting that, we're seeing more artists who are experimenting, blending genres,
They're breaking down those walls.
Absolutely.
It's like they're saying, hey, music is alive, it's evolving.
It's a living, breathing thing.
But, as much as we love, geeking out on the data,
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to just, take a step back and enjoy the music.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, the Grammys are about celebrating the power of music.
To move us.
To connect us.
To inspire. Exactly. So cheers to the artist, the music, and this amazing shared experience that is the Grammys.
Cheers.
And remember, this is just the beginning. Keep listening, keep exploring, and keep the music playing.
Yes.
We'll catch you next time. It's incredible, like, how much we can learn just from looking at what people are searching for online.
Yeah, it's like this secret window into their minds.
But what are people really curious about?
Totally. And what really struck me was how passionate people were about the Grammys this year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just, casual browsing. They were really digging deep.
Yeah, they were invested.
They wanted to know everything.
Well, and that's what makes it so fun, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's that shared excitement.
It's like this massive watch party.
Even though we're all in our own living rooms.
Yeah, it's more than just an awards show.
It's this cultural event.
It brings people together.
And the searches really showed that, we had the hardcore Grammy fans, of course.
Yeah, the veterans.
But then we also had all these new people, like they were discovering the Grammys for the first time.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that, it's still reaching new audiences.
But it wasn't just about the spectacle of it all.
Right, no, definitely not.
People were genuinely interested in the music,
They wanted to know about the artists.
the stories behind the songs.
Yeah, it's like they were looking for that deeper connection.
It reminds us that the Grammys are really about celebrating artistry,
Creativity.
the power of music to, touch our hearts.
And that brings us to, the big question.
Yeah.
What will people remember from this year's Grammys?
Like, what moments will stick with us?
What will have a lasting impact?
Yeah, what will we still be talking about in 5 years?
Who knows? Maybe it'll be one of those performances that just blew everyone away.
Yeah, like something totally unexpected.
Maybe a collaboration that we never saw coming.
Or a speech that really made us think.
Something that sparked a conversation.
Maybe it'll be a new artist who just exploded onto the scene.
Like their Grammy moment was their breakthrough.
Who knows? But, one thing's for sure.
What's that?
The music from this year's Grammys will stay with us.
It'll keep inspiring us.
Yeah, challenging us.
Reminding us of, what music can do.
Well, it's been awesome diving into all this with you.
Oh, I had a blast.
It's amazing what you can discover just from looking at search trends.
It really is. It's like a whole new way of understanding the world.
And to all our listeners out there,
Yes.
we hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the Grammys.
Keep listening, keep exploring, and keep the music playing.
Until next time.